The Israeli regime has increased its threats against Iran amid signs of a nascent thaw in Tehran-Washington ties. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has repeatedly threatened to attack on Iran during his latest visit to the United States. Now, many are calling this a desperate reaction on the part of Netanyahu to the recent overtures by the U.S. government to Iran. More on that now in this report.
Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is pressuring ahead with his Iran phobia campaign on his visit to the US. The centerpiece of Netanyahu's interviews and remarks these days is Israel will attack Iran even if it's, quote, forced to.
But when it comes to Iran's nuclear weapons...
The Israeli Prime Minister has been clearly angered by the efforts made by Iran's President Hassan Rouhani to solve disputes with the West.
Iran is seeking constructive interaction with other countries based on respect and common interests, and it does not want tension with the United States in line with this policy.
Netanyahu is also angry at Washington over its overtures to Rouhani during the Iranian president's visit to New York to attend the UN summit. Netanyahu has been behind several military operations and crackdowns during his tenure that have cost many civilian lives, including women and children. His last massive attack targeted the besieged Gaza Strip. Netanyahu's onslaught on Gaza was totally unprovoked, just as Israel's previous wars in the Middle East were. Israeli troops used chemical agents during their attacks on Gaza. Netanyahu is even hated by the Palestinian Authority officials who have been willing to hold talks with Israel as he has grabbed vast chunks of Palestinian land to build more Israeli settlements. This as Palestinian prisoners are held in dire conditions in Israeli jails under the fire-banned Prime Minister, and even minors and women are not spared. Many believe Netanyahu is not even welcome among his own Western supporters. Back in 2011, US President Barack Obama and then French President Nicolas Sarkozy were caught on an open microphone grumbling about the Israeli Prime Minister's behavior. This was first reported by a French website which said journalists overheard Sarkozy telling Obama,
"I can't stand him. He's a liar."
And Obama replied,
"You're tired of him. What about me? I have to deal with him every day."
As Netanyahu tries to peddle his claims against Iran to its main ally, the US, he has also started working to convince the Western-backed Arab states that Iran is a threat against them too. Meanwhile, Iran has hit back at Netanyahu by calling him a warmonger. And Iranian military officials described the Israeli regime's threats to launch attacks on the country as an act of desperation. Tehran has said it reserves the right to defend itself against any possible aggression. Iran says any such action will be met with a devastating blow from its armed forces, no matter where the source of the strike is.